Hi there, Brian here. Welcome back to the Cash Flow Desk. Today we're talking about spotting a cash crunch before it hits. Because by the time you're scrambling to pay bills, you're already behind the curve. The good news, cash crunches rarely come out of nowhere. They leave breadcrumbs, and if you know what to look for, you can catch them weeks or even months ahead of time. Let's start with the early warning signs that most business owners miss. Your accounts receivable aging report is probably the best crystal ball you have. When you see more invoices sitting in the 60 or 90-day buckets, that's cash that should be in your account but isn't. A retail business might have great sales numbers, but if customers are taking longer to pay, that revenue isn't helping with immediate expenses. Another red flag is your cash conversion cycle getting longer. That's the time between when you spend money on inventory or labor and when you actually collect cash from customers. If this number is creeping up, you're essentially funding more of your business operations out of pocket for longer periods. And here's one that catches people off guard: rapid growth. Sounds counterintuitive, but growing too fast can drain cash faster than you can generate it, especially if you're extending credit terms to land new customers. Now, let's talk about the specific numbers you should be watching. Your Days Sales Outstanding, or DSO, tells you how long it takes to collect on sales. If your DSO is trending upward, that's cash getting stuck in receivables. For a services business, going from 30 days to 45 days might not sound like much, but it can represent a significant chunk of working capital. Days Payable Outstanding, DPO, shows how long you're taking to pay suppliers. If you're stretching payments longer and longer, that might buy you time short term, but it's often a sign that cash is already getting tight. The current ratio is another good one. That's current assets divided by current liabilities. If this number is dropping below 1.5 or so, you're getting into territory where short-term obligations might outpace your ability to meet them. But the real game changer is building a rolling cash flow forecast. This isn't about complex spreadsheets. You're looking at expected cash in versus cash out over the next 13 weeks, week by week. Include everything: customer payments based on your AR aging, recurring expenses, loan payments, tax obligations, payroll. The goal is to spot the weeks where cash out exceeds cash in before you get there. Most businesses that hit cash crunches could have seen them coming if they'd been forecasting even just 8 weeks out. An e-commerce company might see that their inventory purchase in week 6, combined with quarterly tax payments in week 8, creates a cash gap they need to plan for. The key is updating this forecast weekly with actual results and revised projections. Something else to keep in mind: every business has patterns, and these patterns can set you up for cash crunches if you're not paying attention. Seasonal businesses obviously have this built in. A landscaping company knows winter is coming, but they might not account for how early the season ends or how late it starts. That's where the cash gap widens. But even non-seasonal businesses have cycles. SaaS companies might see payment delays around year-end as customers delay renewals. Professional services firms often see slower collections during summer months when key decision-makers are on vacation. The trick is mapping these patterns over at least 2 years of data so you can plan cash reserves accordingly. Don't forget about external factors that can trigger cash crunches. Interest rate changes affect your borrowing costs and customer payment behavior. Economic uncertainty makes customers slower to pay and more likely to negotiate extended terms. Supply chain disruptions can force you to pay more upfront for inventory or find alternative suppliers with different payment terms. Even positive external factors can create cash issues. A big contract win might require upfront investments in labor or materials before you see the first payment. The point is to stay aware of what's happening in your industry and broader economy, because these factors often show up in your cash flow before they hit your P&L. So what do you do when you spot trouble ahead? Start with your receivables. Get on the phone with slow-paying customers. Offer early payment discounts. Consider factoring for immediate cash if the situation is urgent. Look at your payables. Can you negotiate better terms with key suppliers? Are there expenses you can delay without hurting operations? And explore your financing options before you need them. Credit lines are much easier to secure when you don't desperately need the money. The businesses that navigate cash crunches best are the ones that see them coming and take action while they still have options. Bottom line, cash crunches are predictable if you're looking at the right metrics and planning ahead. Track your AR aging, monitor your cash conversion cycle, and keep that rolling forecast updated. Your future self will thank you. If this was helpful, hit like and subscribe. Drop a comment with what cash flow topic you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for watching. I'm Brian, and I'll see you in the next one.